G'day guys and welcome back to Casual Rage. Prepare to start the show, R2. This is where the fun begins. Hello everyone, g'day guys and welcome to Casual Rage 146, where we casually rage out about the topics of the week. I hope you're all doing really well. I'm doing all right. Sorry I'm a little late. I did sleep in. It was my own fault. I was playing a game on my phone. When I fell asleep, my phone went dead, and yeah, I woke up going, what the fuck's going on? And I was late, so I'm sorry. But we are here now, we are live, and we're ready to talk a little bit more about Ahsoka. Now, the reason why I wanted to obviously just sort of continue a little bit with Ahsoka, it's only been a week since the finale aired, and I'm putting together a video for you guys. I'm going back to my roots and putting together a video essay, a scripted video. And there is the one thing that I noticed while I was sort of sitting there going through this is it's like, okay, what points do I actually really want to talk about? What things in there do I really want to actually touch on? And, you know, I'm always talking about lore, continuity, canon, and all of that sort of thing. And the funny thing is that this show doesn't just fail, and I'm giving you a little bit of a tease of what that video is, but it doesn't just fail at being Star Wars. It fails at being a show. The writing is that bad, and the continuity of the writing is that bad. Not even like continuity of canon, continuity of lore, all of that sort of thing. That's not there. 100% that's not there. But the continuity of and the structure of actually writing a cohesive story isn't even there. So you can't even say that this is good television, let alone good Star Wars. And, you know, obviously we're going to talk a little bit about the ratings today. There's a couple of videos that obviously Star Wars dropped with the cast talking about their roles in it, which we didn't sort of get to go through. So as we were obviously doing the episode breakdowns, it was more about the episodes for the last, 7 weeks than it was actually going through some of the other stuff. So we're going to sort of touch on some of that other stuff today. And then I don't know what I'm going to do moving forward. Like, I'm still going to be talking about Star Wars. I'm still going to be essentially watching the shows and reviewing the shows. And, you know, as Darth Melvin, who's here in the chat, says, avenging Star Wars. But you know, I was sort of looking at it with all the ratings. Yeah, no one watched it. That's right. I was looking through it with all the ratings and everything, and I was sort of thinking to myself last night. You know, everybody's like, "Oh, you just hate Star Wars. You just want it to fail." All of this kind of thing, and I kind of think to myself, like, okay, yes, the answer to that question is yes. I hate Disney Star Wars, and yes, I want Disney Star Wars to fail. But then I started thinking to myself, why? Why do I want Disney Star Wars to fail? Well, it's kind of like, okay, if let's say Disney Star Wars was to fail it is failing abysmally, but let's say it was to completely fail to the point where they're not even like making money out of it, which I don't think they are at the moment, but you get what I mean. Like it completely plummets and completely crashes. There's still the possibility of then rebuilding from the ashes of what they've done. You know, hopefully if it gets destroyed enough, then maybe they can recognize their faults, recognize their problems. And look, I'm not putting much hope on that. I will say that because the people that are working at Lucasfilm right now, they think that it seems to me that they think that they're doing a fantastic job. And things are getting really good for Star Wars for them. And it's delusion. And you can see that in the ratings. And again, I don't look at the ratings all that much and take much from that. It's kind of like, you know, thinking about Rotten Tomatoes and thinking that what they're actually putting out there and what they're actually doing is, you know, correct. What they're actually displaying and what they're showing is correct. Now, sometimes maybe it is, maybe sometimes they don't touch it, but from what we've seen, you know, probably over the last 5 to maybe even 10 years, they've been messing around with shit. So, you know, for the channel and everything that I'm doing with this, I'm really happy that I didn't name the channel something to do with Star Wars, because that just allows me to evolve it into something where, yeah, like I said, I'm still going to be touching on Star Wars. I'm still going to be talking about Star Wars, but I'm not going to just be a Star Wars channel. I've fully decided that that's where I'm going with it. In regards to how or what I'm going to do, I'm not too sure yet. I've got to basically work that out and decide how to go about it. But that will be where I'm going with the channel. Let's quickly say hello to the chat. I know I was a little bit all over the place there, but let's quickly say hello to the chat. We've got Melissa Lord here. How you doing, Melissa? We've got OG Star Wars saying, as you join, smash the like button. Yes, please smash the like button. Adam Wilkinson, thank you. He'll be back to watch the stream later, and may the force be with you too. Still fucking Ahsoka. Yeah. Yep. We got Tillium in the chat. We've got, who else? Some dickhead named Raging Rhino who said he was going to be late. Fucking moron. Pro Jack fan, how you doing? Star Round, good to see you. Good to see you. Darth Spampton, Arboru, the legendary Arboru, good to see you as well. The Nuisance Bird, Mr. Bantham, Star Wars Marvel Purist, Jace is in the chat. How you doing, Jace? John 42, Zakarat's here. Jet Sparks, how you doing? Let's see. 8 inches of beardo. All right. Fucks with you, Rhino. Well, thank you. Mike Hill, another legend. Always sending me shit, always helping me out. For $5 says, Den of Shills and Seal Wars Theory broke up. They won't be streaming together anymore. Yes. Well, that was a little bit interesting, wasn't it? Who knows why? I mean, I don't watch enough of them to know the ins and outs of everything there going on. I've seen a couple of people tagging me with Star Wars Theory saying you should stream with Raging Rhino. I will say it probably wouldn't work anyway, even if he was to reach out to me, because the time difference and the time that he would be doing that stream is mainly when I'm at work. So unfortunately, I don't think that would work. And I honestly, I don't know how that stream would go. Look, I would probably have a one-on-one discussion with him. Whether or not that's streamed or whatever. It's tough because I don't really care. Like, I do, because he's got such a massive reach. And because he is a fence sitter, I'm talking about Theory here, because he is a fence sitter, instead of sitting there going, "No, this is shit, this isn't good Star Wars," like everybody else, he's got to try and make something of it. Is my camera? Looks a bit weird. It's because you can see all the chairs over there. Is it usually that high? No, that's fine. Thank you, Mike Hill. Appreciate you. We got Soul Assassin is in the chat. How you doing? Good to see you. I want a Jedi Starfighter, but in black. Well, like Ahsoka's one. Scourge, good to see you as well. Who else we got here? Sorry, I'm a bit nasally today. I don't know why. I watched 2 episodes and couldn't take it anymore. Seems to be the case. And again, looking at the ratings, it seems to be that a lot more people then even dropped off even more. It's pretty crazy. And of course, we did have Knights of Melvin as well. Good to see him always. He's been doing some great work over on his channel. If you're not subscribed to Knights of Melvin, go and subscribe, become a knight. Help avenge Star Wars. Let's see. Unlimited Powers here as well. Riff Magos, how you doing? Darth Danger Zone, good to see you. He says, never more have I wanted the bad guys to win than in Disney Star Wars. The funny thing is like, even the bad guys, I know what you're saying, but like, even the bad guys were written poorly. People want to talk about Balin. Oh, he was the best character in it. He was the one that had the most going for him. I will say they pretty much destroyed that. But, and I'm not going to give it away. I think I've already mentioned it on a previous stream, but there's one specific bit with him where I'm like, why did they do it like that? I don't want to give anything away for that bit anyway. Let's see. Who else have we got here? Arbro said hello. Superman 82, good to see you. Patrick T's here, good to see you, Patrick. King Chris, how you doing? Sick Lads here as well. Wade's in the chat. How you doing, Wade? G'day, mate. June Bugs here as well. Good to see you. If I've missed anyone, thank you for being here. And Borg Porg as well. Thank you for everyone for being here. And thank you to all the lurkers. Yes, I'm down for that. Melvin Theory. Or however you want to put it. Knights of Theory. Yes. Knights of Melvin is based. But, it's kind of funny how we all sort of evolve. I remember when Knights of Melvin sort of first hit this, like, doing all the YouTube stuff and everything. And he had some positivity towards a little bit of stuff. I think early stages of Mando, if I'm not mistaken. Please correct me if I'm wrong, Melvin, but like it was all for him. It was all about when he first hit the scene. It was all about the sequels, getting rid of the sequels, and then I think over time, he sort of realized that everything else that Disney's doing is garbage too. Not that he might not have already had that in the back of his mind, but he was really just pushing, retconning the sequels and getting rid of those sequels and all of that sort of thing. And, so was I. But like when Mandalorian first hit, like for me, Mando, I wish I could find where I said this on stream, because I actually feel like we're there now, to the point where the statement that I made is completely true. I said that the Mandalorian and the reactions to the Mandalorian, especially once we got past season 2, was like The Force Awakens. I remember saying that The Mandalorian is like the Force Awakens of the Star Wars television stuff. And as they come out with more, we're going to get closer and closer to the fan base being a bit more like The Last Jedi. And now with Ahsoka out and the drop-off and the number of people that aren't watching Star Wars now, I feel like I was sort of right when I said that. Feel sort of vindicated in a way. Oh, I know. They're not looking good at all. Not looking good at all, Preston. It's actually kind of sad to think that, what they could have done with Star Wars, and like, not after the sequels, not that they would have been able to make a course correction. I don't think that that's possible without a retcon. Not a retcon even, just complete decanonization. Because I feel like what they're trying to do now with all of these shows is essentially designed to retcon the sequels, but not in a way that it's going to actually make them pointless and completely remove them from canon. It's designed to explain them. Let's see here. I was seeing what Melvin was talking to Darth Spampton about, obviously. Please contact Theory and take Josh's place. The thing is Melvin would be getting on there and he wouldn't be speaking. Like, it'd be the other side of the coin. Now, that could make for good streaming. It could make for good content. Theory being positive about it, Melvin being negative about it. But I don't know how long Theory would be able to last with that. Because we can sit here all day long. We've done it. We can sit here all day long and explain not only what the problems are, but why they're an actual problem. That's exactly right. G'day, Tuscan Bob. G'day, Greg. How you doing? Good to see you. All Disney have left are the shills and the Star Wars sluts. Unfortunately, they're loud on social media, and Disney thinks that they're doing well because they convinced a bunch of retards to clap at everything. 100%. 100%. And that's where we are now with Star Wars. And that's the thing. This is the thing. They wanted to cater to a new audience. Sorry, excuse me a second. They wanted to cater to a new audience. The unfortunate thing is that new audience just isn't there. And I've said this before too, and I know that there's a lot of new people here, and there's a lot of people that have been here for a long time, so you may have already heard me say this. But Star Wars has been around for a long time. If anyone out there was going to be a Star Wars fan, they would already be a Star Wars fan. There's no new audience to capture. The thing is that the people out there that have literally just come into it because, Star Wars is being all diverse and shit. They think that Star Wars is literally about reacting. Like we watched Grizzy's videos. That's what the Star Wars fans now think that Star Wars is. Star Wars is self-referential. It references itself constantly. But then on top of that, people think that the I am your father moment in Empire is every moment. Do you know what I'm saying? Like you see their reactions to Anakin coming on the screen, to a lightsaber being ignited, to seeing a TIE fighter or something. This is the Star Wars universe. You've got to expect to see those things. Not be shocked by seeing those things. People sitting there fucking crying because Anakin's teaching Ahsoka another lesson. Or Sabine and Ezra reuniting, which was so lackluster. So that's what people think that Star Wars is now. Or the shock value. We're going to have the shock value of everything. It's actually really weird because it's the only franchise that is sort of happening to. Well, maybe not, and I'm just not really out there noticing it or paying attention. I know that Grizzy put out a video, I think he did, on the, on Loki. I wonder if the reactions are the same to Loki. Just seeing Loki on the screen, do you see the, I don't know. Shut your fucking whippersnipper up. Jesus. Yeah, Fractured Filter, how you doing, dude? Yes, I'll catch you on the replay. Thanks for coming by. Fuck Norris is here as well. All right, so I don't know how long the stream's going to go for tonight as well, because I do need to go and fucking vote on this stupid fucking thing. Stupid fucking referendum. Oh, God. Decide whether or not I'm a racist or not. And then I've also got to go get a haircut, and then I've also got to do a fair few things today. So we'll see how we go for time. But I don't have a lot of stuff. I mean, how much more can we honestly talk about Star Wars? How much more can we honestly talk about Ahsoka when we really think about it? Patrick T for 5 says they didn't just want to create a new they didn't just want to create a new audience for Star Wars. Disney Star Wars specifically went out of their way to alienate existing fans. That's the thing. That's where the drop-off is. That's where the drop-off is. And I think that's where the drop-off is, especially with this Ahsoka show. I've got people at work and they do watch my channel, or they've been watching it, here and there. A lot of them watched, a lot of the ones that I talk to about Star Wars at work, I speak to them and they're like, oh, I kind of liked Obi-Wan Kenobi, or I kind of like this, or I kind of like that. They watch my video and they're like, yeah, I didn't really see that. I didn't really notice, what you were talking about. There's normal conversation that takes place there. It's kind of weird thinking about how the conversations that you can have on Twitter where people are just like, you just don't understand. You're a fuckwit. You don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You mustn't have ever been a Star Wars fan or anything like that. And then the conversations that I can have with people at work that are literally sitting there saying the same thing about them actually enjoying it. And then they either watch my video or I talk to them about it and they're like, oh shit, yeah. Fuck yeah. Didn't notice that. And I hope that stuff like that opens up their eyes. Thank you, Patrick, for the $5. I appreciate it. I hope that shit like that actually opens their eyes a little bit. Not just to what's happening to Star Wars, but what's happening to entertainment in general. Now, every now and then you get like a diamond in the rough, And I know that a lot of people have talked about it, but I completely agree. One Piece was actually really good. Now, there's obviously stuff that they needed to change. They needed to adapt because they're going from having thousands of episodes in the anime to 8 episodes in live action. You can't equate that. You've got to remove some stuff to be able to do something like that. But the storytelling within One Piece, the character development, the character motivation, the character work in One Piece is the best part of it. And that's what actually carries that show forward. The world building in that show. There's ridiculous shit in there. There's definitely that anime, manga feel to it with some of the ridiculousness that is actually in there. But surprise, surprise, somebody like myself that doesn't like anime, that doesn't like manga, well, not that I don't like it. It's just, I must admit, I haven't really given too much of it a chance, but everything that I have sat down to watch, I haven't really liked. I went back, I started watching the first episode of One Piece in the anime. And I'm sorry, but I just, the animation style, I wouldn't be able to sit there and watch 1,000 episodes of it. I just wouldn't. It's not my thing. But the live action was pretty good. Pretty good. Look at this hair on me. I can see it and it annoys me. I'm going to watch Avatar: The Last Airbender, and that's because of Mozza. But it's opened the door for me. It's opened the door for me a little bit more because, depending on the animation, depending on all of that sort of stuff, I could probably push myself through something with good storytelling, good characters, all of that sort of thing. I know, I get it. I get it. I get it. All right. Let's take a look here. The average person is with you on that, Rhino. Well, this is the other thing too. Just going back to Star Wars, of course. You know, I had somebody put a comment in it was either in my last review for Ahsoka for the final episode, or it was our last stream about the Ahsoka breakdown and all of that sort of thing. And it was another one of those ones where, you just can't let people enjoy it, blah, 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 blah. And again, I make the argument that, you know, if what I'm saying is destroying your enjoyment of it, then it must mean that I'm right. But I don't see that I'm destroying people's enjoyment of it, especially when let me just bring something up here. Yeah, I don't have the biggest channel in the world. You know, creeping up on 4,500 subscribers. It's nothing big. It's nothing massive. You know, you guys are great. Love all you guys constantly being here. We've got 55 people here watching now. You know, it is growing. It is moving. It is slow, but I'm patient and it's enjoyable. So as long as I'm still enjoying making content and doing this stuff, then I will continue doing it. But just my last Ahsoka episode 8 review, had 1,327 views. It had 76 comments. Now, majority of those 76 comments, I will say, are in agreement with me. But when I'm getting 163 likes and 7 dislikes, that doesn't tell me I'm wrong. You know, the previous episode review, episode 7, 861 views, 52 comments, 118 likes, 2 dislikes. Now, I'm sure that if I was a bigger channel and I was putting these reviews out there would be more dislikes, but there would still be more likes. And the thing is that right now, the ratio of like to dislikes, majority of people are in agreement with me. And I'm sure that other channels out there are in the same boat, are having the same things happen. Darth Melvin, I'm sure his like to dislike ratio on his videos and his breakdowns and his watch parties and all of that sort of thing that he did was the same. Now, people might want to come in and argue, but you're just sitting in an echo chamber. Well, no, I'm just uploading on YouTube. This is available to absolutely everybody. If it was really that amazing, if it was really that great, there would be a lot more dislikes on those videos. A lot more. G'day, Flash. How you doing? Yeah, Star Wars fucking does suck. Fucking breaks my heart, to be honest. Fucking absolute fucking bullshit that they've done to it. I honestly can't believe that we're in this position. 11 years in? 12 years in? I can't fucking do math right now. Whatever it is, we're a bit over a decade into Disney owning Star Wars, and it's incredible how quickly they've destroyed it. Incredible. Let me just check over here really quickly. Oh, we're all good. All right. So let's let me put that out properly before I light my entire house on fire. All right, let's share this. Oh, Yellow Flash for $20 says Star Wars sucks. You didn't have to do that. You just wrote it before. Thank you. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you. I will be over on Flashcast this weekend. I need to let Flash know, which I probably can now, but I'm only going to probably be able to do like the first hour or two at max. I'm going to go visit my sister before she goes in for surgery. Actually, well, before we do that, let me just plug that again really quickly. Flash, thank you so much for the $20. Really, really appreciate that. Star Wars fucking sucks. Yes, it does. Fucking hate it. It's bullshit. It's stupid. I need to move on. While I continue watching it, though. But let me just... So if you didn't know, obviously, my sister, she's going through some breast cancer again. This is her second time. It came back after the first treatment, disappeared, and now it's come back again. You can find the GoFundMe to help her out over on my Twitter, or X, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So please, if you can help, please, you can donate there. Even sharing that link out definitely helps. We're sitting, I think, over there at 22,000. The goal is to hit 30,000. And I was talking to my sister about it. She probably could use more than the 30 grand, but the 30 grand definitely helps massively. So if you can help, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, so this weekend I got to go visit her before she goes in for surgery. So I'll be doing that. Yes, fuck cancer. Fucking hate it. It's been such a roller coaster ride these last couple of weeks with her actually having to sort of make some painful and crazy decisions. Yeah. But yes, I will be on Flashcast this weekend for sure. Hopefully I won't be 2 hours late this time. I was so drunk last week. All right, let's actually do this now. I don't want to dwell on that. Thank you for all the kind comments in the chat there. I appreciate it. Okay, so this was the 6-day total. This is Somber TV for the premiere. 1.2 million. 1.2 million. Now, I think back in the day when I had Greg on, we sort of sat down, we did some sort of calculations in regards to, you know, the amount of money that The Force Awakens made and the amount of fans that Star Wars had essentially back then compared to where we sort of are now. I think we sort of sat down and talked about that around the time of Obi-Wan Kenobi, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Greg, if you're still here. But the fact that we're like 1.2 million for the premiere, I mean, that's horrible in itself. And again, I'm no professional in regards to this stuff. I don't know how all of this actually equates and how all of this works and how this is really even calculated. But all I can really look at is the fact that for the finale, they had a massive drop-off. Why? Because it sucks. Because there's no storytelling. It doesn't have the gravitas that Star Wars had when it was actual Star Wars. The characters are bland and lame and just like they're not even real characters. They are effectively just going along for the ride in this plot that is being made completely by plot. Like it's literally just the characters are just going along for the ride. And then you look at some of the Nielsen ratings. I think that's how you say it. They've been really bad for Ahsoka. Now, this is the thing, though, too, is when I go into watching these shows, you know, massive Star Wars fan, love Star Wars to death. It's my favorite franchise. And it used to be essentially my favorite thing to talk about when it comes to entertainment. Those fans just aren't there anymore. You know, it's even like when I'm on Flash, when I'm on Flashcast, Flash doesn't like, he hates it when I start rambling and talking about Star Wars. He'll always try and change the subject. I don't blame him because Star Wars sucks. Who out there really cares about it? But back in the day, I'm sure that when Star Wars was actually really good, I would have been able to sit down and have a fucking awesome conversation with him about Star Wars. You know, I remember when Greg and I first met, you know, and there was Jeff back then too. You know, we were definitely having conversations about like the bad stuff with Star Wars, because that's how we basically did meet. But like we still had these conversations, like they'd used to span off into the stuff that we sort of did love about Star Wars. Those conversations don't exist anymore. They just don't. And when you do see the people out there that are praising it, enjoying it, and all of that sort of thing, it's so superficial. The things that they're talking about that they love is just the flashy shit on the screens. The jangling keys, you know. But to have a drop off like that from the premiere 1.2 million to 863,000. I mean, that first number was small in itself. Tiny, in fact. And it is sad. It is sad to think that this is where we are. Yep. Keys. Just jangling keys. I did see this come through. Hold on a second. Arboru for $10 says, after you vote, pick up a Macca's for me. It's probably going to happen, to be honest. Oh, yeah. This is the thing, though, too, is like, how are they making their money back? You guys remember when Star Wars was good? Fuck, it's been a long time. Fucking long time. Mike Hill for 5 says, I'm interested in seeing what numbers episode 5 brought in. Any self-respecting Star Wars fan, you would think, should be able to see that it is just jangling keys, because there's no substance there. There's nothing to actually engage a person. And especially when it comes to the normies, like this got talked about a lot. If you hadn't watched Clone Wars or the Rebels, then there's a lot of shit that's going on that you actually don't know about. Yeah, probably somewhere between 1.2 and 863K. It's sad. It's sad. Oh, that's the same one. You know. And what do we got next? What's next? Is it the Acolyte that's supposed to be next? Skeleton Crew. What are these shows? What are these shows going to bring in? This is the thing, they keep losing more and more audience the more and more shit that they come out with. You know, The Mandalorian had a little audience. Maybe a couple came back because there was a few channels out there that, again, I used to think was on my side of the aisle when it came to this sort of thing, that were praising it. And they're the ones that basically gave me shit for not praising it. But then season 2 happens. We get the Luke Skywalker moment. Obi-Wan Kenobi comes out. It crashes and burns. People start seeing again how ridiculous it was. That was probably the moment that we went from it being the Force Awakens moment to the Last Jedi moment, to be honest. But then the Book of Boba Fett comes out. Loses more audience. Mando basically comes back with season 3. And I don't know, might have got a little spike because of the people that thought that John and Dave were turning the corner, that they'd won the Civil War. Oh my God. So they lose more audience. More fans decide to just say, nah, this isn't Star Wars. Andor then comes out. Probably better character work than anything else that they've done. But still not good. Still not good. There's still a lot of jangling keys on the screen. Still got a lot of continuity issues. I've talked about them heaps. The thing is I want to have conversations about that with people that, like, you know, Mauler and those guys. Anyway, and then you get Ahsoka, and they lose more audience. So where's this new audience coming from? Where are they going to make their money back out of this? The new Star Wars fans that they've got like the idea of Star Wars. They don't care about the lore, the canon, the continuity. They don't. The Acolyte. The Acolyte is what I think we're getting next. It's either this or the Skeleton Crew. The Acolyte will be the darkest and most adult Star Wars content produced, according to some sources. What the fuck does that mean? I'm certainly looking forward to it. Are you? The darkest, most adult. Getting sick of this narrative. You know, the narrative's fucked, ladies and gentlemen. You can get the merch in the merch store. Most adult. I'm sick of this narrative of Star Wars is for kids. Sick of it. Because it's not true. It's not true. When I and probably a lot of other people watched Star Wars for the first time. Maybe they were a kid. Maybe they were a kid. But now they're adults. And those adults are still fans of the things that got them excited for Star Wars when they were a kid. Crazy thing is, and I've said this before, when I watched Star Wars as a kid, it was just the flashy lightsabers. It was just the intense moments. You know, the throne room scene, Vader and Luke. Empire Strikes Back fight between Vader and Luke. There was a lot of intense stuff that went on as a kid. Now, when you look at it as an adult, it's a lot more. There's a lot more to it than just those lightsabers on the screen. And the crazy thing is it was the characters that made that happen. It was the characters that pushed those narratives forward. Their motivations, their want to save the galaxy, stop the entire galaxy from this tyranny of the Empire. So what does it mean when they say the darkest and most adult? Because I remember people talking about Andor saying that, oh, it's Star Wars for adults. Is that why he walked into a brothel in the opening scene? Is that what made it so adult for everyone? I just think that there was enough character work there that it actually went back to at least some semblance of some sort of storytelling. And again, I'm not saying that Andor's good by any stretch. But it certainly isn't like this whole thing of like, oh, you just want your childish fucking, you just need to see lightsabers and force users and shit on the screen. I made that point in my fucking video. I'm seeing lightsabers, I'm seeing force users. It's not changing anything. It's still shit. God, if they make the Acolyte more adult, then fucking the SEALs out there aren't even going to understand it. Because if they can't understand how bad Ahsoka is, or they can't understand how bad Obi-Wan Kenobi is, or Book of Boba Fett, or any of these things, how are they going to fucking understand something that's more adult, or the most adult fucking Star Wars we've ever had? How? Oh, yeah, it is. Yep. 100 years before the 100 years before the Phantom Menace, we should be seeing fucking Plagueis and Tenebris. Not Tenebris. Is it Tenebris? We should be seeing those like and if they make it so that fucking you know, the Sith sort of reveal themselves to the Jedi 100 years before, they're just doing more damage even again. They're doing more damage. Hey, it actually came up on StreamYard. Can you believe that? Arbaru with 5 gift memberships. Thank you, Arbaru. Let me see. They went to Riff Magos. That's what's not showing on StreamYard though. They went to Riff Magos, Darth Spampton, Knights of Melbourne, Rogue's backstory, and Danger Renegade. I think that if I stuffed that up, I'm sorry, but thank you very much for the gift memberships. I appreciate that. Arbor, you are a fucking legend. You know that, right? But yeah, I saw this and I'm like, what? Why? How is this designed to get people excited for Star Wars? It's the darkest and most adult. I'd argue that the OT is pretty fucking dark. It's pretty fucking dark. And it's all because of Vader and Vader's presence in those movies that makes it really fucking dark. You know, Vader choking the guy at fucking the beginning of A New Hope, going into Empire, you know, him playing around and teasing basically Luke. He fucking tortured his friends so that he could pull him out of hiding, basically, or out of his training, forcing Luke to go and do something he probably shouldn't have done. Luke is kind of lucky in that situation. And he was willing to kill himself. Luke was willing to kill himself as opposed to turning to the dark side. You don't think that's pretty dark? You don't think that's pretty adult? Return of the Jedi. Fuck. Leia chokes a big space worm. Chokes Jabba the Hutt. That's pretty fucking dark. The throne room scene. Now, that's literally pretty dark, but it's dark in everything that sort of happens in that throne room scene. Some pretty adult themes in there. So I'd argue that we've already had pretty adult fucking Star Wars. If, like, again, I don't even know what that means. I'm just using their terminology. But in the same token, it was still suitable for kids. Star Wars is for all ages. 100%. And it's for fully grown men. I think men being the operative word there. Don't get me wrong. There are plenty of women out there. Plenty that are actual Star Wars fans. That saw those exact same themes. That saw those exact same situations. There's just a lot more men that like this stuff than women. It's like the same thing. It's like the same thing with Barbie and shit like that. My Little Pony. I don't know if that really equates to the exact same thing, because as those women get older, I don't know whether or not then they're still like sitting there enjoying fucking, you know, My Little Pony or something like that. But how many men are watching those things? So the Acolyte's next, and it's going to be the darkest, most adult Star Wars we've ever seen. Why? Is it because there's going to be gay and lesbian shit in there? Queer stuff? Because that's how it's been promoted. That black chick at fucking Star Wars Celebration saying that, you know, she's a strong, powerful woman. Yes, yes, Slay Queen, yes. Get the fuck out of here. That's never been Star Wars and never should be Star Wars moving forward. It's fucking so shit. So, I want to show you guys something. Now, these came out. Sorry, I'm just going through and pausing them because they're just fucking playing their heads off here. All right. So, these were like little behind the scenes clips that Star Wars decided to release. There's a few here, right? So we got a few of the actors behind the scenes talking about their roles, talking about their research, whatever you want to call it. Now, the funny thing that I noticed, and I had to scroll for ages to find this one, right? The guy that played Thrawn, I can't remember his name, but the guy that played Thrawn. But I don't know if you noticed this. What do you notice there when I click through them all? Just randomly. All I was thinking when I noticed these, the Force is female. Ezra hasn't done one of these, or the guy that plays Ezra hasn't done one of these. Obviously, we've got Thrawn in there. And again, like I said, it took me a while to find it. That one came out on the 27th of September. But I haven't watched all of these, and I actually haven't watched any of them in full. I thought we could watch them together and just see how they talk about it. Like, it could be completely fine. There could be nothing here. Absolutely nothing here. But in the same token, there very well could be something here. So this is, I believe, the young chick that played young Ahsoka.
I watched a ton of Clone Wars episodes. I mean, when I was getting ready for rehearsal and all of that, it was just always on in the background. This is the Clone Wars!
Yeah, no kidding.
The little plot twist in this episode is, yes, although I am 13, 17-year-old Ahsoka, Ahsoka is still Rosario's Ahsoka mentally. So I had to combine the characteristics and combine how Rosario talks. I visited Rosario on set, and I kind of just got to watch her work and observe how she would walk and talk and everything Ahsoka. I just soaked up all of her body language because I really, really, really wanted to do it right. I watched.
The funny thing is that she did a better job of playing Ahsoka than Rosario did throughout the entire thing. She showed, this chick here, she showed more Ahsoka than Rosario. And it's funny, like, she does specifically say that she's young Ahsoka with the mentality of older Ahsoka. And I kind of picked up on that anyway throughout the episode. I think we talked about that. But this, again, just goes to tell me that it was all in Ahsoka's head. There was nothing, like, we've still got no clarification on what was actually happening in that scene, really. How to act like Rosario in Ahsoka. Get a lobotomy. Yep. All right, so there's that one. Oh, we went the wrong way.
For me, martial arts was my heritage, it was my culture, and my father always wanted me to have an understanding of how to protect myself. In many ways, when you are doing any form of a fight scene or battle sequence, I look at fight choreography as another form of dialogue, another expression of the character that you're going to play. And talking with Dave about Morgan Elsbeth, I understood that she walks by a certain warrior's code. For her to be able to go up against Ahsoka is, in some ways, truly an honor. And it's nice to be able to test your ability. For me,
well, even in that final episode, I did say, oh, it was good to see a little bit of decent choreography. Yes, her character was so cringe. The thing was that filming in the volume it does not help them either. You know, even though we did get a little bit of decent choreography, and it wasn't even the whole fight, it was just a small little section in there where it was like, oh, okay, I see some good consistent flow to this. But I can't remember the point I was going to make now. Fuck, completely blanked. Can't even remember. Anyway, the thing is like, even when you see the fight between Ahsoka and Obi-Wan, Ahsoka and Anakin, sorry. And Anakin is, like, Hayden Christensen still can wield a lightsaber pretty well, and he can still move it smoothly, efficiently, and all of that sort of thing. And then you can blatantly see where he's actually got to sort of slow himself down. And I know a lot of people have talked about it, but he actually did. And the crazy thing is why aren't you just getting in like a stunt double or like somebody that can actually do these fights with some sort of decent choreography? You know, sorry, that's what I was saying before. I know I'm jumping all over the place. The volume. So fucking they are doing this fight and it's like they're just going back and forward like this because that's all they can actually do. There's not enough room in this volume for them to actually span out and end up in different locations or anything like that. So the first part of their fight, they're fighting in that little room where Ezra and Sabine walk around her and then go off to try and get on the ship or whatever, instead of all of them fighting her at the same time, which was just completely stupid. And then the next time you sort of cut to that fight after you go off with Ezra and Sabine for a little bit, Ahsoka's sort of backing up the stairs, being shot at by stormtroopers. It's like I don't have a problem with editing or the cutting of, like, you know, a fight scene. I mean, we saw it with in Revenge of the Sith. You know, it sort of cuts from Obi-Wan and Anakin to Palpatine and Yoda, back to Obi-Wan and Anakin, back to Palpatine and Yoda. When Palpatine and Yoda's fight is over, then we just stick with Obi-Wan and Anakin for the rest of that fight. So I don't have a problem necessarily with the edits, but when you can see that it's blatantly in the volume and there's not a lot of room in there, and it's just so noticeable. And it does, like, we talk about how the world or the universe of Star Wars feels so small through not through the writing really and through the characters. Obviously the characters all just run into each other and it's like, you know, Space Miyagi. You know, why is it always now Space Miyagi is the X-Wing pilot that we've got to see? You know, where's Wedge? Where's Rogue Squadron? Anyway. They make the world feel even smaller when they're filming in the volume, is basically my point. Because the volume is shit. Let's see the next one.
These incredible characters and being in the world, and it kind of was like a big wave of, oh my god, I'm in Star Wars. I've spent most of my life fighting a war.
No, you're not. You're in Disney Star Wars.
I'm in Star Wars. I've spent most of my life fighting a war, and that's why I'm trying to convince you to help me prevent another one. Hera is the ultimate space mom to me because she's a mother figure to almost everyone in her life.
I love that. I just love that. You know why I love that? Because I've been talking about babysitters in fucking space since fucking the first season of Mando. We had babysitters in space with Mandalorian. We had babysitters in space with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I don't know what we could reference fucking Book of Boba Fett as. Fucking shit. And she refers to herself as a space mom? Okay. All right.
And now she is a mother to Jason, so we get to see that relationship. It's very complex, this kind of need to protect her child and at the same time do whatever it takes in a completely fearless way.
Protect your child. You know a good way that you would have been able to protect your child a little bit better is if you actually had have left him with the fleet when you busted your fucking orders in half and decided to go to an actual war zone. That would have been protecting your son. But no, we needed to take Jason along so we could hear the lightsabers.
For the greater good of the world. And so to try and meld those two things together is quite a push and pull.
She refers to herself as the space mom. Wow. Mike Hill for 5 says the cinematographer did admit using the volume had little wiggle room for lighting effect. Yes, we are going to talk about that too. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate the $5. Yeah, no, that's 100% true. 100% true. Why do I keep going the wrong way? Let's see what Sabine has to say.
I mean, I'm literally in Mandalorian armor with a lightsaber on my belt. There's so much about being a Jedi or achieving this transcendent state that feels inaccessible sometimes. One thing I love about Sabine's journey is that she's really just struggling and she's dealing with a lot of stuff in her past. She struggles with her emotions, she's impulsive. I think she's just relatable and she's got good intentions, but so many unfair things are happening around her and to her, and she doesn't always make the right decision. I just find her very lovable because she's so imperfect. I mean,
oh my God. Now that is the worst description of Sabine I've ever fucking seen.
I'm literally in Mandalorian armor with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
On
And you should just be a Mandalorian, not a Jedi. Retcon.
my belt. There's so much about
Oh, yeah. And lived. Very true.
being a Jedi or achieving this transcendent state that feels inaccessible sometimes.
And it should be inaccessible. You shouldn't even be able to use the Force. Never shown any Force sensitivity. Fucking Hu Yang even says, out of all the thousands of fucking Jedi that he has ever seen in his life, she is below them all.
One thing I love about Sabine's journey is that she's really just struggling and she's dealing with a lot of stuff in her past. She struggles with her emotions, she's impulsive. I think she's just relatable.
That doesn't make her relatable. What, she's struggling from things that she did in her past? Well, what about all the bullshit that she did in this series moving forward? All the shitty decisions that she made? Fucking hell.
And she's got good intentions, but
I'm sorry, but those good intentions, you didn't show fucking anything that would think that I am thinking that you've got good intentions. What, you wanted to see Ezra? You got to see him for a day or two? And now he's off in the original galaxy, Galaxy A, and you're now stuck and stranded in Galaxy B. And now the big bad of the galaxy is back, destroying Ezra's sacrifice, his 10-year isolation.
So many unfair things are happening around her and to her, and she doesn't always make the right decision. I just find
Yeah, you made the shitty decisions. This is the thing, though, about Ezra I just want to talk about really quickly. Ezra, it would have been better to have Ezra not the same happy-go-lucky Ezra that we saw in Rebels. It would have been better that after 10 years and the struggle and everything that he went through and the loneliness and everything of being in this galaxy for 10 years, that he is teetering on the dark side or something like that. That would have been better. Yep. Raid 2.0. Anyway. Shin.
It will always stay within me is the moment when Natasha and I saw our lightsabers ignite for the first time. And I see Natasha's eyes and she's looking into my eyes. And in that moment, we could really sense that it's the beginning. It felt like the months of training before and what was about to come balanced each other out and kind of grounded the experience. It felt like we opened the gates into the universe.
Your months of training fucking looks shit, by the way. Just letting you know. Just letting you know. Gay. When we looked into each other's eyes, we decided to cross our swords, legs, together. Whatever. And Thrawn.
What's a good villain? Yeah, what's a good villain?
What was first just a dream has become a frightening reality for those who may oppose us.
It's a villain that we know what he's driven by. He'll make things happen. He's so smooth, he's like an eel. He's always 7 paces ahead of you. He hasn't got the force and
not
the
in this,
dark
he's
force
not.
is not really part of him. But he can connect with dark forces to meet his end goals. I love that.
You know, it's funny. He says he's always 7 paces like ahead of like his enemy or whatever he said there. That's what Dave Filoni's told him. Oh, he's always 7 paces ahead. Because in this show, he gets defeated after defeat after defeat. Now, yeah, he did get back to the original galaxy. His original plan paid off, right? But every decision moving to that point, it's not Thrawn. Not Thrawn at all. So again, I just wanted to point out that, you know, I haven't been able to find Rosario. So granted, I didn't get to find Rosario. They had young Ahsoka. They had Morgan. They had Hera. They had Sabine. They had Shin. And they had Thrawn do one of these little behind-the-scenes little interview things and clipped it and put it out on their Twitter page. No Ezra. No Rosario. No Ahsoka. Older Ahsoka. Force is certainly female. That's for sure. Riff for 2 says hashtag not my Thrawn. 100%. 100%. It's not my Thrawn either. It's not my Star Wars. Not my Star Wars. That was a little lame. Now, where am I going from here? So this is what this is just what was mentioned before. I may as well bring it up now. So Ahsoka, cinematographer Eric Steelberg has admitted that using the volume didn't offer a lot of wiggle room to make lighting changes on set. Well, I think this entire thing with the volume, I think the biggest glaring moment of problems that I feel like they've had with the volume, the best way to show it would be from Obi-Wan Kenobi when he's chasing Leia and Leia runs past him and he goes to grab her and she's right there and then, it actually cuts and it's like he's let her go. And then he's running after her. He should be literally right behind her and he's got longer strides. He should be able to catch her. And then, of course, she has jumped, teleported further ahead of where he is. The volume is absolute garbage. And it's kind of funny. I feel like George Lucas, he revolutionized cinema with a lot of the things that he did and a lot of the effects and film work and everything that he did. There was a lot of stuff that he brought to the table and actually designed. And it's kind of the same thing again, where I kind of feel like these people at Lucasfilm think that that's what Star Wars is. It's revolutionizing cinema. And, let's do this volume thing. And I don't know whether or not it saves money or not. I'm pretty sure they still need to, still a lot of work that goes into actually making these background images and stuff like that. It goes on to say everything's very pre-planned and has to be kind of executed according to plan. Sorry. I need another drink. Well, no shit. You can see it. You can see it in what we're watching. And like I said, it makes the universe feel even smaller again. Not that they haven't already done that. But it certainly makes the universe feel a hell of a lot smaller. Because especially, like I said, in that fight with Morgan and Ahsoka, when it's kind of like Ahsoka takes 3 steps forward, then she takes 3 steps back, and then 3 steps forward and 3 steps back. This fight's just going forward, back, forward, back, forward. It's because they're in the volume. They've got nowhere to move. So, yeah. All right, I need to go get myself another beverage. I need to get a drink. Let me play something for you. Oh, fuck it. I'll just play Mozza. Doing the dirty dog. I'll be right back.
Fuck yeah, cunt.
That was quick. Fucking Mozza. Let's take a look at this really quickly. Oh, shit. I was supposed to move that down there. Oh, well. That's all right. We'll get to it. Okay. I saw this and I couldn't help but laugh. So this is from Bounding Into Comics. Financial analyst calls for Lucasfilm and the Walt Disney Company to cancel Dave Filoni's Mandoverse movie after poor Ahsoka ratings. Okay. It wouldn't surprise me if it was to be cancelled, because of how many things they have basically announced and then cancelled, announced, cancelled, announced, cancelled. But it also wouldn't surprise me if the small minority of Disney Star Wars fans and the praise that they've been getting, and you got that meme out there of Dave Filoni being hailed and praised. That's what they are paying attention to. And they think that everybody's on that train. They think everybody's on board. I'm with you. Yes, please cancel it. But in the same token, I'm like, fucking go for it. Do it. I want to see this movie at the box office. I don't want to see this movie released on Disney Plus. I want to see this movie released in theaters, because then that will give us a great indication of where Star Wars is actually at. Because through the ratings, even what we showed before, you can't gauge from anything that I just showed you earlier how bad of a place Star Wars is actually in. It's the box office that's going to help us see that. I won't be going to the movies to see any of the Star Wars movies. The Rey movie, if we even get that, the Filoni movie, the James Gunn movie. Is it James Gunn? I think it is. Not. And based on what we're seeing with these ratings absolutely bombing, who's going to go see it? You know who's going to go see it? The ones that do this. They're the ones that are going to go see it. And the theaters will be half empty. Not packed out theaters. Don't waste your time and money, 100%. No fucking way. That's right, the seal clappers. They're all the ones that are going to be going. But yeah, I wonder why a financial analyst is actually calling for them to cancel it. Maybe it's because they're actually fucking losing money on things like Ahsoka. If this is the kind of financial return we're going to get from Ahsoka, then fuck, what kind of financial return are we going to get from a Dave Filoni Mandoverse movie? Anyway, I just wanted to touch on that because I thought it was funny that it's the financial side of it that's actually saying, like, let's not do this. Instead of the creative side of it that should be going, hang on a second, maybe we shouldn't be doing things like this. Maybe we shouldn't make Sabine Force sensitive. Maybe we should just make her a Mandalorian. Like she always was. Now, not that I like the Rebels show, like the Rebels animated stuff, but Sabine was a better character in that than she was in this Ahsoka series. Way better than what she was in this Ahsoka series. All right. Now, you see in the title of this stream, I've got Ahsoka ratings, Dave Filoni lies, The Acolyte, and Disney Star Wars disaster. Let's talk about Dave Filoni lying for a second. Dave Filoni, the hack, the liar. So, the headline is, this is from Screen Rant, why Ahsoka thought Anakin died from Order 66, explained by Dave Filoni and approved by George Lucas. Not reading the article, just going to read Dave Filoni's little statement here. This is something that George and I talked about when Order 66 is called and Anakin survives it. Sorry, Anakin. And Ahsoka survives it. She has a moment where she reaches out into the Force and she looks for Anakin's presence. She can't feel Anakin's presence in the Force, no matter where she was in the galaxy. It's not like a metal detector. She can't just go right to where he was, but she would. But she would get a feeling that her friend is still safe and alive. When she reaches out after Order 66, she doesn't get that. It's gone, and so she believes him to be dead. The bit where I think that this is a massive fucking lie from good old Dave Faggot Filoni, right, is this is something that George and I talked about when Order 66 is called and Ahsoka survives it. Dave Filoni has said from his own goddamn mouth that George was always on the side of Ahsoka dying at Order 66. So, Dave, when did you have this conversation with George about Ahsoka surviving Order 66 and then reaching out into the Force and not sensing Anakin's presence, so she must have thought he was dead? When? When? You lying piece of fucking shit. Stop trying to make fucking bullshit up. It's like these fucking idiots out there like Star Wars Theory. Oh, George Lucas fucking 150 years ago said that everyone's got the Force, so it makes sense that Sabine can use the Force. Get the fuck out of here. You're a Star Wars fan. You've made fucking 3 million subscribers out of your Star Wars channel off lore and continuity that you know. Stop lying. Stop using fucking bullshit headcanon to justify bullshit canon, bullshit lore, and bullshit continuity. Dave, you lying piece of fucking shit. You never had a conversation with George about when Ahsoka survives Order 66. You know why we know that? Because you told us, you fucking retard. This is for all the new fans out there that don't know shit about fucking Star Wars. I can't believe that this is a statement from him. I honestly can't believe it. You may as well fucking Star Wars Theory. You may as well get Dave Filoni on to do Nerd Theory. You can do Filoni Theory. You guys can fucking bum each other. Suck Filoni's cock on stream. Seems to be what you do anyway, just without him there. Theory would read something like this and go, see? Whoa. The fuck is this? I can take that down. I've read what I wanted to read from it. What a joke. What a fucking joke. There's no need to save you at Star Wars. You know, the next person that actually says that to me, I'm going to ask him, did you like Obi-Wan Kenobi? Did you like Book of Boba Fett? Did you like The Mandalorian? Did you even like the sequels? If any of the answers to those questions is yes, then what the fuck are they saving it from? What the fuck are they saving it from? These people literally are just sitting there making shit up in their heads. I mean, Dave Filoni just made up an entire conversation that he had with George. What a fucking joke. Plasma 19 for 10. The New Republic is so dumb. Even the good guys don't give a damn about billions of Republic credits in hyperdrives and materials being stolen from under their noses. The funny thing is that they arrested people. And this is coming up in my fucking video. The New Republic arrested people for doing shit like that. But they've got no evidence of Imperial remnant activity. None. Absolutely none. Thank you for the $10. You're 100% right. It's fucking bullshit. This is where the writing in itself fails as a show, not just as Star Wars, but it fails as a fucking series. It fails as fucking entertainment. None of it makes any fucking sense. Thank you for the $10. Where are the George Lucas statements confirming this shit? They don't exist. Like I said, fucking, what's his name? Dave has already admitted that George wanted Ahsoka dead at Order 66. You prefer he makes stuff up and not do research? I prefer Dave to stay loyal to fucking George Lucas Star Wars, to actual Star Wars, if he was going to do it. Plasma for for 10 again. Thank you very, very much. Star Wars is so hollow. You're not fucking wrong. It is hollow. I was saying it earlier in the stream. The gravitas, the universe. It's not the same. It's just not. It's not even close to the same thing. And these people sit out there and they go, "Oh, it feels like Star Wars. This is Star Wars. This is George Lucas Star Wars." Like, no. I don't know where you're getting that from. I don't know where you're getting that feeling from. Anyway, Star Wars is so hollow. They reveal a whole galaxy with Thrawn, and all we get is one star. All we get is one star system out of billions. 100%. That's the other thing too. Yeah. Again, making the galaxy so small. They went to an entire new galaxy. They literally all arrive at the same planet, this one planet. That's it. That's the part of the new galaxy that we see. That's it. And it takes them no time to get there too. Teleportation everywhere. Extreme lack of imagination and creativity. Extreme lack of imagination and creativity. 100% agreed. Thank you again for that $10 as well. Fucking ads. Sorry. I probably shouldn't put select the monetization thing on these streams, because they all go to fucking, they don't get copyrighted, but they all go to limited. All go to limited ads. Thank you, Plasman. So, we've done that. Okay, these were two things that I was actually supposed to move further down and talk about them earlier. So I'll just bring them up quickly and touch on them just really quick here. So, The Mandalorian Season 3 is the biggest Disney Plus show premiere in 2023. So far, beating Loki Season 2 and Ahsoka. We were supposed to talk about that when the ratings thing came up. And the crazy thing is that Mando Season 3, in amongst the self-respecting Star Wars fans, know how shit Mando Season 3 is. So what's that tell you? Forget Loki even for a second. What's that tell you about Ahsoka? This is the thing. Mando was a completely made-up new character. Ahsoka's been around from Clone Wars all the way through to yes, we will be doing Seal of the Week. What was I saying? Yeah, Ahsoka's a character that's been around for a lot longer than fucking Mando. But yet Mando Season 3 had better ratings than, or a bigger premiere than Ahsoka. What does that tell you? That tells you that people are leaving. They're dipping out. The more and more that they see, they're like, nah, I'm done now. I'm done now. I'm done now. And again, it's pretty crazy to think where we are. And then there was also this. Now, I made this point on a few of the streams previous to this one, like especially when we were doing the breakdowns and everything, in regards to the fact that Sabine was Ahsoka's apprentice at some point. They were master and apprentice previously. Now, throughout the Rebel series, Kanan trains and teaches Sabine how to use the Darksaber. No Force abilities, no Force sensitivity. Kanan doesn't sense anything. Nothing actually happens there. Now, people like to argue the fact that between the end of Rebels and this series, they must have been master and apprentice. But the thing that I noticed is that the end of Rebels and this Ahsoka series actually have a crossover moment. So when When? Don't know. Don't know. Is it prior to the epilogue in Rebels? So obviously they get rid of Thrawn, and then between Thrawn leaving the galaxy and the epilogue and Sabine, obviously speaking through that epilogue, did they catch up and do their training, or like when did that happen? Nobody knows. Nobody can answer it without using headcanon and without being convoluted as well. It's got to be. They make a mess of it when they use their mental gymnastics to try and explain it. But this was just something that I thought that was actually quite funny, because this person seems to be talking about it as a positive. I think that this is more a negative and more goes along with what I'm saying. So, the Gold Man says, fun fact, this moment in Season 2, Episode 3 of Rebels is the only time Ahsoka and Sabine interact with each other in any way in that series, besides the epilogue. The two don't share a single conversation throughout all of Rebels. I've already said that. I said that ages ago. I think I said that when we were doing our episode 1 breakdown. So when would Ahsoka notice that Sabine is, what's the words that she uses? Arrogant? No. I can't remember now. It's fucking not that important. But Ahsoka basically says that she's, hot-headed or whatever the terms are that she uses. I can't remember when she's talking to Hera about Sabine. When would Ahsoka have ever noticed that? They've never had a conversation. It's the only time that they interacted, and I don't even really remember it because it's so not important. But I just thought it was funny that it's a fun fact. Again, I don't know whether or not this person's putting this out there as a good thing or a bad thing, but I think this brings more evidence, more credence to what I'm saying. That's right, stubborn. Yeah. When did Ahsoka ever see Sabine being stubborn? All off screen when they were master and apprentice training together? Don't know. Wouldn't force sensitives lose the ability after a while if it goes unnoticed? No, I don't think they lose their force sensitivity. They actually sort of find a way to, well, it depends on whether or not they end up going like dark or light and using whatever abilities they do have or are able to use in a good way or a bad way. Well, if that's the case, well, then he's talking about this in a positive way, isn't he? Which is stupid. Stupid to put this out there and think that that's a positive. Think that means that this actually now makes it make more sense. It actually makes it make less sense. Anyway, that's it for those. Let's see here. All right. So we've gone through everything. We've got Seal of the Week to do. And then we're going to wrap it up because I need to go and fucking do some shit. All right. Where is it? Where is it?
I'm all the Jedi.
All right. So Ahsoka, Tano, Groom, Sabine, yeah. Seems that way. All right. So, nominee number 1, Ray, says, December 17th, 2015, the day my life changed forever. Once I saw Ray pull the lightsaber from the snow. Wow. What a moment. What a moment. So that's nominee number 1. Nominee number 2. Now, Jacob's got 2 nominations this week. Big Disney seal with his Grogu and his pronouns. So, cringe. Yes, cringe. The choreography throughout the sequel trilogy is honestly underrated, but the final lightsaber duel has some of the best in the entire saga. I'm sick of hearing that. The best in the entire saga. I love how it shows using the Force for defense as much as it shows the importance of a lightsaber. I love how it shows using the Force for defense as much as it shows the importance of a lightsaber. That statement confuses me. But even still, like, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? There was nothing to these fights. The choreography was shit, number 1. But there's no emotional weight behind these lightsaber duels like there is with the OT, like there is with the prequels. The lightsaber fights in those movies, in the original 6 movies, you could pick any single one. The Duel of the Fates, the fight between Yoda and Dooku, or even the fight with Dooku with Obi-Wan and Anakin before that. The fight with Anakin and Dooku in Revenge of the Sith, or even the fight with Anakin and Obi-Wan in Revenge of the Sith. The fight between Obi-Wan and Vader in A New Hope. Empire between Luke and Vader. Return of the Jedi between Luke and Vader. They've got emotional weight behind them, not just good, flashy choreography. Anyway, so that's nominee number 2 for Jacob, and nominee number 3 is also for Jacob. Says, honestly, feel like Din Djarin, or as Greg says, Din Jarhead, getting a modified Naboo starfighter was the coolest possible upgrade to the Razor Crest. See, this is where people are stupid. He's a bounty hunter. At least he was a bounty hunter. At least in the first episode of season 1, he was an actual bounty hunter. Then he turns into a babysitter. So it's not really bounty hunting anymore. But you telling me that this mercenary, this Mandalorian, it would be better for him to sit in a cockpit the entire time he's traveling without being able to use the Force to meditate or anything like that, like Luke could in the EU. This is where like the Force, the hyperspace teleportation comes into play for Disney Lucasfilm, because if they would actually make it take the time that it actually should take to get from, let's say, one system to another system or anything like that, man, he'd be sitting in that chair for fucking ages. He could be sitting in that chair for days. There's a little fucking tunnel for Grogu to crawl in through. It's all bullshit. And that's the best possible upgrade or the coolest possible upgrade. No, it's because it's a modified Naboo starfighter that makes you go like this. So that's nominee number 3. And nominee number 4 has had nominations in the past. Star Wars Holocron says, Revenge of the Sith, the Jedi fall, and the galaxy turns to darkness. Duel on Mustafar. Fire. The Rise of Skywalker. The Jedi return, and the galaxy returns to peace. Duel on fucking queef. That's what we're going to call it. Water. This one. Star Wars symbolism. The Jedi return. Hang on. Let me just think for a second. I thought there was a movie called Return of the Jedi that did that. And there was no water. It wasn't about the fire and the water. This is how stupid these fucking idiots are. Did you just forget about Return of the Jedi? Like, really? Really? Anyway, there are your 4 nominations for this week's Seal of the Week. Let me get the poll in the chat. Fucking hell. All right. Poll is in the chat. Get your votes in. So, nominee number 1 is Rey. The day your life changed forever was seeing Rey pull the lightsaber from the snow. We've got apparently the sequel's choreography is just unrated. Din Djarin's upgraded ship from the Razor Crest. It's just the coolest thing to have a Naboo starfighter. And then you've got Star Wars Holocron with his retarded take on the Jedi returning and how the symbolism is fire to water. Fucking morons, man. Fucking morons. All right, while we're waiting for that, Grizzy is going to grace us with his presence here. Well, not his actual presence, with his channel's presence. We're going to drop the link to his channel in the chat. As you can see, he doesn't just do Star Wars. He's done some Marvel stuff here. We've got Loki in there. But we're going to watch Must Defend Show. Disney Star Wars shills defend Dave Filoni's Ahsoka series. It's good to see that Josh Den of Fucktards is probably one of the first ones that we're going to see. All right, here we go. Let's see. We got audio. Good. You guys got audio? Let's hope.
I love this show. I loved it to death.
Loved it. Loved this show.
This point blank is one of my favorite things Star Wars and Lucasfilm have ever done.
I know what happened. You guys dropped acid, didn't you?
Yeah, here comes the pain.
And Ahsoka Season 1 is a flat-out masterpiece.
Oh, get the
Great
fuck out.
season. Yeah. Great storytelling. Now.
This is my favorite Star Wars show that they have done.
Great music, great performances, great writing.
No.
Just solid all around.
It was definitely solid.
No! God damn it! This was a masterpiece. This gave me the Force.
When that guy said it's definitely solid, dude, convinced me, because it sounded so bland. It sounds like you don't even believe that yourself.
This made me feel like the Force was inside me.
Clearly, that's not all that was inside you.
And I loved this. This is something that I think George Lucas would look at and be absolutely proud of. And if you don't think so, you're fucking crazy.
Disagree. I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy, because Dave Filoni said Ahsoka should be fucking dead. You fucking moron.
Genuinely think you are.
And these are the same people that tell you and I not to criticize people's opinions. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Don't call people names, etc. But, of course, it's totally fine when they do it.
And if you don't think so, you're fucking crazy. I genuinely think you are.
Episode 8. It's the finale. I don't like it. I don't like it. But I liked the season.
Oh, okay.
It's such an oxymoron. It's so fucking dumb. Oh, here we go.
Was I cheering at the end when Sabine got that lightsaber? I sure was.
What a pussy.
I am proud of Sabine. I am good with her.
You a Force wielder?
Force. I am totally down for Sabine.
I mean, for me, I don't necessarily care. I don't think it's I don't think it breaks anything for me or anything.
Sabine being able to use the Force so effectively in that moment of pushing Ezra, I feel like you have to kind of consider the fact that, what she's lost.
Here we go. Gotta try and make it make sense.
Yeah.
She's lost her entire family. All of them lost on Mandalore.
That doesn't fucking matter.
That doesn't matter.
Even if it did, it doesn't make sense that she's only just now able to use it in the finale of Ahsoka.
Yeah.
And I think what they did with being able to grab the lightsaber and do the push, it was exactly about as far as I feel that she deserved to get in terms of the Force. And
they look so convinced.
I think it's impressive.
Yeah, you know what you're saying is stupid when your own co-hosts are laughing at you.
Yeah.
I think it highlights the concept of the Force as...
Are they in a car? Why are they filming this in a car? Retards in cars, eh?
Today, Junior?
something that, anyone can tap into if you are open to it and if you trust it.
Allow me to translate. The Force is now a participation trophy.
Yeah. Sabine being strangled and that's what she was just kind of reaching out before, but then you really saw her kind of come into the Force. Now,
oh God, these people are dumb.
Sure, why not in the finale?
Even when these people don't like something, they still defend it. Watch, she does it again.
And then she's able to push Ezra up onto the ship. Okay. It looked cool. It sounded cool. We got the Force theme. I'm not upset.
Lying to yourself, lying to your audience, all for your paid Disney Shield access pass. Fuck off.
So I did literally cheer when Sabine Force pulled that lightsaber to her. I was like, finally, here we go. She did it.
So does that look and sound familiar to any of you?
Finally, here we go. She did it.
Please consider that like button a middle finger to both Rey and Sabine and smash the shit out of it for me. And please subscribe if you haven't already.
I'd appreciate it. I really would.
I remember when I lost my mind.
Oh, here we go. Fuck.
It wasn't just cameos. It had meaning behind it.
No,
I wouldn't even necessarily call it fan service. In a way you kind of can, yeah, but it's it's something that needs to be there. It serves a big purpose.
No.
No.
You could have ended episode 4 with the camera panning over the ocean and begun episode 5 with Hera looking for and finding Ahsoka in the ocean, and it would have changed nothing in the grand scheme of things.
I think episode 5, I think it's up there with some of the best Star Wars content that I have ever seen, man. It is fantastic.
It was nostalgia bait and it was filler.
I love it. It was picture perfect. It was everything was great about Hayden's return on this show.
While also respecting the hell out of what came before. The usage of Anakin in this show was fantastic.
Great to see Hayden Christensen. I think they used him perfectly in this series.
You're serious? And the theories and the speculation that we had. This is the fun of Star Wars that I want to have.
Who's going to show up in this show? Who's going to show up in that show? That's all these people get excited about.
Dude, they're going to bring back Maul or something, man. I'm telling you. There's no way that they're not going to.
Oh, well.
Dave fucking Filoni doesn't disappoint, does he?
I really was happy with what Dave Filoni has made. When am I not happy with what Dave Filoni has made?
Overall, what Filoni does great is he makes things feel like Star Wars.
Not even close. And he's always trying to create something, with the fans' best interest at heart.
No! I hope they give him everything, and I hope he's in charge of everything at some level moving forward.
I kind of like where Filoni's headed on this. I mean, especially because I've become a part of the Filonidom. Our numbers are small, but our passion is potent.
Well, Grace, with regards to the Nielsen ratings, you are correct. Your numbers are indeed small.
I just don't like this philosophy of that's not the way George would have done it. It's like, I love George, but let's get past just what George would do.
And there you have it. That's exactly what Kathleen Kennedy did. What a shock. And that's what Dave Filoni is currently doing.
Star Wars shouldn't be divisive. And it's strange that people that claim that Disney made it divisive seem to not want it to actually not be divisive. And perhaps because they benefit now from that division via making outrage content, etc., etc.
Are you fucking serious? Look at everything we've been getting in these post-episode 6 Disney Plus series. Mandalorian, Book of Boba Fett, Ahsoka, Dave Filoni's movie coming up. All of it leads straight to what divided fans in the first place, the sequel trilogy and Mary Sue herself. You can cry and whine about outrage content creators, as you call them, not giving Star Wars a chance. We're not giving Star Wars a chance because we know what's coming. Everything we are getting in these shows is an attempt to repair the sequel trilogy and make it make sense. All the talk about cloning and bringing the dead back to life, what do you think that's building to?
Somehow Palpatine returned.
Ahsoka season 1, what would you rank it from 1 to 10?
I would give it an 8.
An 8? Okay.
I'd give it an 8.
Damn.
I would give it a 7.
I'm going to split the difference with you two. I'm going to go 7.5.
Rewatching it, I think I'm back up to like an 8 overall for the series.
The whole show as a whole, 7.5 to 8 out of 10. Strong. 8.5 out of 10, I would say this season was. 8.5 out of 10. I'd give episode 5 a 10 out of 10, man.
Yeah, of course you would.
Yeah, I guess maybe 4.25 out of
5
for the season overall.
And I would put the series at a generous 4.
Maybe like 3.75 out of 5 total.
What a bunch of dumbasses.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. Make sure you check out some of.
Thanks, Grizzy. Your work throughout this entire thing has been absolutely great. I'm going to put the link again in the chat. If you're not subscribed to Grizzy, go and give him a sub. Does great work over there. Wow, that was fun, wasn't it? That was a blast. Darth Spampton for 20 says, non-Star Wars related question. Do you have any social media besides X? I recently moved to Minds and Getter after my X account got falsely banned twice in a row last week when I didn't validate any of when I didn't violate, any of their rules. Well, that's pretty stupid. Not really, dude. I've got Twitter or X. I've got Instagram. And that's really it. And I don't use my Instagram a whole lot. It's just there. It was actually just my personal Instagram. It was always under Raging Rhino because Rhino was my nickname. And I don't know, it's just the account that I made. So I just sort of turned that into, I guess, when I started the channel and everything. But yeah, other than that, not really, dude. I'm sorry. Mine's will get I don't have any plans to set any of those up in the near future. I should probably actually, and this has been a while coming, I should probably set up a Discord. But see, even the Discords that I'm a part of, I'm barely in there. The thing is like, because of work and life and everything that goes on, you know, I will say when I'm not working, I'm basically either trying to work on something to do with YouTube. So between all of that sort of stuff, it takes up all of my time. But having multiple like social media accounts and things like that, it'd just be, it's too much for one boomer to handle. Let's see. Angry Joe is such a dumbass. Here he is. Well, thank you, Triss. I appreciate that. She's never watched Ahsoka. She prefers my videos. Appreciate that. All right, let's wrap this poll up, the seal of the week. Let me share the screen again. Okay. Oh, the one that I thought was going to win is going to win by the looks of things. All right, so if you wanted to get a last-minute vote in, this is number 1. This is number 2. This is number 3. This is number 4. Get your votes in. Give you another few seconds here if you wanted to vote. I think most people have. Let me check this while we're waiting. Oh, we're all good over on Streamlabs. Okay. All right, we ticked over one more little vote there. All right, let's end the poll. Poll is ended. All right, in last place with 19% of the vote was Jacob. Jacob came last in both with his take on the choreography of the sequel trilogies. Although a good nominee, not quite as high as some of these other ones. And third spot comes number 3, Jacob again, with 22% of the vote, with his take on Din Djarin's modified Naboo starfighter being a cool replacement, an upgrade, I should say, for the Razor Crest. In second place, the runner-up with 25% of the vote was number 1, Ray, with it being such a great moment, or a life-changing moment, or changed their life forever, was the moment that Rey was able to pull the lightsaber from the snow. And of course, the winner of this week's Seal of the Week is Star Wars Holocron with 32% of the votes, saying, Revenge of the Sith, the Jedi fall and the galaxy turns to darkness. Duel on Mustafar, fire. The Rise of Skywalker, the Jedi return and the galaxy returns to peace. Duel on Queef, water. Star Wars symbolism. Congratulations, Star Wars Holocron. You once again win this week's Seal of the Week.
Jedi.
Plasma 19 for 10 says, I feel like being a nerd is a detriment, to enjoying Star Wars. The more I focus on the details, the more I dislike it. At least Disney Star Wars. Well, that is definitely the case, because the more for the hardcore fans are the ones that dipped out the first. And now you're starting to see it more and more with some more of the casual fans, because it's not, the depth isn't there anymore. And the more you think about it, the more problems you start to see with it. Even the normies now. So yes, 100%. Being a nerd is actually like a bad thing these days. Why do you think they stopped employing people that are actually fans of these IPs and fans of these things to make them? Because they don't want to be beholden to canon. They don't want to be beholden to lore, the rules that were made within the universe. And then the problem is that the fans out there that do care about that stuff and do look at that stuff are then shunned to the side and said, "Oh, you're just a racist." It's like when they said, like, if you make an argument about lore or canon or something, you're racist. I can't remember exactly who said it. It's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid, because it's always what it's been. It's always what it's been. And I've made this point before. George Lucas was able to make Star Wars for normies, but keep lore, continuity, and canon reasonably in check, and in check well enough for the hardcore fans to still be able to suspend their disbelief and believe that this world was real. This galaxy was real. But yes, you're 100% right. It's a problem now to be a nerd. And it used to be, well, you always used to be a problem to be a nerd, and then when it became cool to be a nerd, it got taken over by these fucking idiots out there, pronoun fucktards on Twitter and shit. Anyway, this is why I stick to the original trilogy. Yep. I mean, this is the thing. Even in the prequels, there are continuity issues. There are problems in the prequels, but they are not that massive. You can ignore certain things, but they're not that massive to the point where it actually destroys the entire universe or destroys the entire character or destroys the entire world. They're not. They're just not. You know, it's not like Qui-Gon gets stabbed by a lightsaber and then the very next day he's, just got a flesh wound or anything like that. That sort of thing. Anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you all for being here. Thank you to the members for your continued ongoing support to the channel and help. Thank you for everyone for super chatting tonight. It's been a great night. Thank you to everyone for hanging out, of course. And if you're lurking in the chat, thank you. If you're back here re-watching the stream, thank you, and please smash the like button. If you're not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Star Wars is dead. And yes, I'll admit, I want Star Wars to die. I want Disney Star Wars to die. Because the only way that if there's ever a chance of Star Wars making a course correction or Star Wars ever getting any better, Disney Star Wars must die. It's the only way. It's the only way these idiots over there at Lucasfilm are actually going to learn. So it's what I want. I don't want Star Wars to die. I want Disney Star Wars to die. Because it's an absolute abomination of actual Star Wars, of George Lucas's creation, and of what we as Star Wars fans loved about the universe, and about the galaxy, and about Star Wars. Anyway, you can catch me tomorrow night or tomorrow morning, depending on where you are in the world, for the Back of the Ute stream over on our Full Aussie channel. If there are any mods in the chat, if you're able to drop the link, that would be greatly appreciated to the Full Aussie. We will see you over there. Then, of course, on Sunday or Saturday night, again, depending on where you are in the world, you can catch me over on Flashcast. Again, I won't be there probably for the whole stream because I do need to go visit my sister. And if you haven't donated or if you aren't able to donate, if you're able to please share the GoFundMe link to my sister's cancer treatment, you can find that over on my Twitter. Mr. Grant Gregory for 2 says, roll your mofo dog. Got to stop playing people on fire. Thanks, Mr. G. You guys are all awesome. We will see you next week for another Casual Rage. And I'm going to go and do what I need to do today and then sit down and continue working on this script because I want to get it out reasonably quick for you guys. Anyway, we'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.
They came bounding over.
Fuck off! Disney! You fucking cunt!
A few minutes? Are you kidding? At the rate they're gaining?
No, what is it? You have to shoot this. Traveling through hyperspace is like dusting crops, kid. Without precise calculations, we fly too close to a store. They're bounce into a supermarket and then...
Yeah.
Be a hell of a mess.
What's that?
Watch. You're losing the deflector shields. Go strap yourselves in. Be careful on the way out.
Yeah, sure. I'm taking very cautious.
You go away.
We bounced too near a supermarket?